hoping that there won't be any drastic comp changes.
All right, agent select.
Okay.
No, MKOI quite kind of as expected, it seems.
I tell a lie. There will be drastic. There will be. If you can't beat them, join them.
But honestly, I'm really nervous for KOI in this one because I think even though they are favored, at least in terms of the fan vote, it's like, it feels like this composition, as good as it can be, requires you to be so proactive, requires you to do so many aggressive moves, and I just look at Vice and I'm like, that character just you sit back on that agent, you just get so much passive value. It's a lot of burden of execution on the side of KOI.
I think from KOI, what the glimmers of attack that we did get to see, they were stunning off the back of the Silver Drone, primarily on that C-mount space. But if you do have a Vice coming out from Apex, probably not really going to contest the C-mount a whole lot of the time. They're going to have that as a hard anchor. I think for me, I'm happy that they're leaning to the double duelist. I am a little disappointed that we're not going to see the double sentinel though, because I did kind of think that kind of counters what KOI are playing. But of course, Apex probably expected to play Lotus this week, so they've been...
My head hurts because Apex chose to start on defense. I thought they would...
this comp.
Yeah, but also, great news for KOI. I have seen this film before, and they definitely like the ending because Casey played this comp last week. I mean, minus the Cypher and Vice is the only difference, but they've already beaten this comp one time. It's not going to be anything too much of a problem for them to be able to think of something on the fly against that Vice as well. I hope to God Apex have the greatest game plan coming to this.
I think that the good thing that we can look at with them starting on that defense is we can even compare it to the Corrode that they were playing, right? Olizera being such a great site anchor on the Cypher on Corrode, but of course he's jumping onto the Vice here. It allows Penny and Batu to be able to take space in other areas of the map. That will be able to force rotations out of KOI. They'll be able to generate information a lot quicker. So for me, I'm not mad about Apex's comp.
All right, we'll have to see which comp will reign supreme as we send it over to our casters, Mitchman and Tombiz.
Thank you very much, Dracos. Love the Reddit opinions from you here today. It's been a lot of fun. It's time to get in to our matchup for today. This is going to be an exciting matchup because no matter what, things change for one of the teams down on that stage. A win will be secured here.
Yeah, it's like KOI have at least managed one in the past, which is nice, but for Apex, you are looking at the first one ever, and of course, the first within this stage. It does kind of feel like the coughing baby versus coughing baby scenario, but one of them does have to come out on top, and I'm hopeful that we're going to see the strengths of both of these sides. Because I think that when it comes to their own map picks, when it comes to their oon prep, these squads have looked good, and then when they go into the opponent's choice, they get blasted.
Well, let's see how things fare today. We could well have a map 3 on the horizon with how both of these teams have performed. A slow burner, perhaps. Let's see if someone can come out of the gates kicking as Apex look to secure their first W.
They've always finished second last, which means they need a win.
All right.
There you go. Positive energy.
The law of foot,
Ulysses,
the law
you're
of
Sam negative.
There's a law for everything. And an opening duel going Fialu's way. That's the battle axe of Batunax already on the floor, and quick trades when the re-aggression comes through. Immediate punish, and Apex left with just that Vice that was a big topic of conversation. Olizera in a 1v4, and he won't even get a shot off.
Yeah, solid start for KOI. Of course, we saw this map already when they played versus KC, but it was a dominant defense that kind of got them off the mark, and then we didn't actually see as much from that attack side because of it, but ultimately, I think you go into both these first couple of maps, as said. I think when the prep is there, when they've had the opportunity to sort of build into matches, that's where you see the strength of both of these sides, and there's definitely been gaps elsewhere. I think it also comes down to just some of the individuals stepping up. Like, we've had high-flying performances from Batty G at times, and then falling off in the next couple of maps. The same can be said for the likes of Olizera as well, so definitely a lot of potential. For Apex, of course, the story is that they lose this match, they are done. And even if they win it, it's still fairly troublesome. For KOI, I believe a victory versus a Na'Vi who had lost would still put them in the with a chance. It's a weird scenario. We don't want to talk about it unless we get there.
Well, we shall see what the future holds. For now, the Classics, a big feature of the previous game. They won out many a round. The rifle's being recovered already, so the chances for Apex certainly above 0. But for how much longer will they stay that way? Penny does very well to find another.
Okay.
Olizera with the Classic is making this a bit more competitive than it really should be. And in the end, Movistar KOI get out of here with 2 players alive. A big blow to their economy early on.
Yeah, it's a damaging round for sure. It is one that is going to make this bonus round quite a bit weaker than they would have liked. In fact, a lot of investments just back into pistols in this round, but realistically, weren't having that much of an expectation for the side of Apex, and they have managed to at least make that one look a little bit more competitive. Now they'll come in with a purchase of their own, and as you can see, the buy for KOI is not great.
No, this is the problem, right? They've decided to allow the damage from the previous round to show its face, to show its true damage here and now. They'll take 3 pistols, allowing them to still fully invest into round number 4 should they lose this. They could have come in with a real chance to compete on almost equal footing. Let's see what they do to try to bridge that gap as they attempted to play towards this door, split into the C player and cause a headache. Instead, a C's nade has put a bump on the road early for Movistar KOI, with Monster soon falling. It's now a 5v3.
Changes to the composition already, showing their strengths. Molzy, of course, picking up that fade, allowing for combos. It's something we've seen a lot from him and his utility. So good with supportive util, and then Batu as well. Now being able to be that little bit more aggressive as he's no longer playing that deadlock. A huge change in compositional setup. And although baiting out the wall is nice, that clock is starting to get a little bit low for my liking.
Now, where do they go now? That's the main question. The door open, the steps made, the slide in. It's the C-site take that Movistar KOI have settled on. Numbers lost, but they did recover a rifle, and already it's taking one down. That's Molzy out of play. 3 versus 4. And that rifle on the tank still looking to draw blood, but it will be his that spilled, leaving Filu with most of the pressure. He won't deliver much. A recovered weapon for Flya gets them another. They fall like dominoes, and it's Apex standing tall with a round in the end.
Yeah, you know, it's a decent round, I'd still say, for Movistar KOI. The fact that they come in with 3 pistols and they still bring it down to their opponents having 2. But I really like these sort of combos. And as I said, that's where I feel like... I feel like right now, you look at this composition, and Apex are playing into the strengths of their players. Like, Batu is an explosive duelist player. Yes, he can do other things. Yeah. Do I want to see that? Not really. I'd like him as the explosive duelist. Is Molzy fantastic with supportive util? Yes, he is. Perm on an agent that can combine with that, rather than, I believe he was playing the KO before, which, at least in terms of initiators, is that little bit more aggressive. Definitely fits their roles. Still allows for the flashes as well that they were hoping for. And well, if Batu gets an operator a little bit later, we could be in for a treat.
Can't see the overpeak with the spike here towards the mound. It could be a big mistake from Movistar KOI, but the door opens up, and that sends Olizero running for his life. The flash buys him a bit of space, but he doesn't know there's a player already wrapped. It's Batty G to take him down. The advantage now there for Movistar KOI. The plant soon to follow. Molzy, he might be about to take a big risk. They want to draw the eye of Movistar KOI to allow this flank to really find value, and they've done well, but Revolva's still falling.
No chance for any support from Molzy as he's been forced back by the ultimate, and that's almost into just a save immediately. A quick response from the side of Movistar KOI. And I'll be honest, it seemed like from Olizero there was a little bit of a lack of awareness. Like, you know that a lot of the time, even if the thorns go up, there's high potential somebody could have got past. And there, I don't know, maybe just, there's a lot going on. Maybe he didn't hear the TP, but I'm pretty certain there was a shadow step across.
Yeah.
And that was what left the opening. So it's something he's definitely going to have to be a little bit more aware of going forward, because those thorns, unlike his wall, are not a wall.
Yeah, I mean, either he used the shrouded step or literally ran through the water, which is less forgivable if you don't hear that.
I think I saw him on the map teleport. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And either way, you'd expect that to be heard.
So these are the standings, for anybody wondering. Of course, they are the 2 teams that are currently 0-3 champs points. I think there's like a 1 in a billion chance that KOI's champs points end up mattering, and I think it still would have to have them getting all the way to the very end. So I don't think the champs points are as important as them just making it to the playoffs. But I think at least for KOI, they win this, they beat Na'Vi, and I think that's all they need to do to make playoffs. It sounds easy, but when you have 0 wins, nothing's easy.
It doesn't sound that easy, to be honest.
Sounds easy to some teams.
Sure. Sure.
Teams you expect to see in playoffs, maybe.
Movistar KOI playing pretty direct. You can see them from barriers up, blitzing towards this A angle. Apex took space elsewhere. They've got pistols, so this is their chance to group up, to play this as a team. The gate crash already used to bail out of that dangerous situation. That heaven control seized by Movistar KOI will be difficult to wrangle out of their control. Although they pushed them back with the Prowler, there's still quite a fight remaining on this site. That's an awkward battle, but one that ultimately goes the way of Movistar KOI thanks to Filu. And this round cleaned up nicely.
Block me, bro. You block me.
Let me out!
It's only going to be the one. Not too much damage. An impressive start from Movistar KOI, and
Come fly with me.
I'm guessing we followed the dart there and it went off into the abyss. I think that was what we just witnessed, but it went so far that we couldn't even see it.
Couldn't go with it. You're going down.
It was just a ruse, you know?
Follow.
He actually made them look out of the map.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, can I break that? It's on bind. I'm not sure. They might just have ignored it.
He's actually sending it to the next map. It's gone off to Ascent.
Yeah, just you wait for the pistol round. They're going to be like, whoa, where did the recon come from?
They're in spawn.
4-1. This is the buy up for Apex, though. This is their chance to bounce back. And I mean, you don't want to see this map slipping away. Sure, this isn't their pick. It is their opponent's pick. Ascent may have more hope for Apex in putting up that round, but putting up that win. This is a solid start. Batu even contributing. It's Penny with the double, and it's Movistar KOI left in a 2v4.
Yeah, they've done well there. Hold on to the B part of the map, expecting that aggression. Monster should be able to upgrade at least, and I'd say he was one of the players that, when we saw the KOI changes, I was excited to see, and at times he has definitely delivered. One of the better players in terms of individual prowess, and
Whoops.
that, yeah.
Oh, he made it.
He just about, I don't know how. Skinnier than I am, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting
I'm not, yeah. I think one of my legs
alone.
alone would have got caught in that door, but
30 seconds left.
30 seconds. Unfortunately, they've been given nothing. It's been passive from the side of Apex, even going to use that dimensional drift just to get them the information. The information is that they are on the site, and they will still be there.
You don't expect to see respect from Apex here with like a showstopper thrown through, but actually they do. And with low HP, Penny was easy to pick out of the sky. That's almost fed into their hands, but Monster still has a big clutch to try to connect. And it's Avova to clean up the final two. A bit more of an investment than I expected from that defensive side, considering the 4 versus 2. Movistar KOI still make it very competitive.
Yeah, it's especially from that position, it's a more costly round than maybe expected. But I guess for Apex, you're looking at this as like, okay, we want to try and build up as many of those defensive side rounds as possible. Clearly having faith in that double duelist to sort of get them that extra ground when it comes to the attack. Especially when you bear in mind that they're playing up against no Sentinels. You kind of think, okay, the attack side should be solid for them. Although we know that with the aggression we've already seen, the double duelist definitely can work on the defense, and they're setting up for another early aggressive A-hold. But Filu has already picked Penny straight off the bat.
Yeah, 4 players towards this A-hold and an immediate punish, followed by Movistar KOI just bailing out. Apex continued their aggression. They push down towards Rubble. They're actually getting extremely close, even with that smoke going up. Avova might just try to thread the needle here, come up behind them. The thing is, you're waiting for contact on C, and the drone going up, that could be the contact they need. Avova stays, holds his ground, allows a rotation. Now 2 players on the C site, soon to be 3. Apex, they've got the right read.
It seems like with the Thorns, they're trying to sell the idea that there's only one player here. Within they go, but they pop their own flash and peek off the back of it. It's an, I was going to say easy couple of kills, but the last one definitely wasn't easy. Olizera looking for a little bit more. But instead, they're now being flanked on. Now, Avova has to be careful. He doesn't over-peek in this scenario, but I guess he gets away with it. It wasn't a necessary fight, but the man advantage sticks with them. And I don't know if Flyer realizes that Molsey is still just sat around this corner. The swing is an easy one, and Apex, well, It definitely got messy in the mix, but they do get themselves the round.
We got to think about that. Multi's the guy coming in from Waterfall, so you expect him to be maybe backside, maybe still Waterfall, not to have gone so deep, but it's this push inside the smoke to play aggressive, knowing that they're probably going to have a util dump, a big execute into sight, utility, ultimates coming their way, the Hunter's Fury to clear all of those corners, the relay bolt in to cause disruption, so they get ahead of it. They fight the utility into the back lines. And that really caught Movistar KOI off guard. It caught me off guard as well.
Yeah.
Like that's a very aggressive stance to take, but you need that kind of innovation sometimes to get the upper hand. 3-4 now. That gap closing in on Movistar KOI, but they find the opening. And that's last round of overplayed aggressive in the late round. This time he starts it out that way, and they'll lose their smoker.
Well, more interesting as well, that's back-to-back rounds that Filu has got the opener on this A side of the map. Last with the operator, now here peeking aggressively into Avova. We saw it on Lotus as well last time out. When he was playing well, this team looked incredible. Flyer, wow, he's jumped out into the open and been picked off easily, and now Penny has arrived to the party as well. 2 rounds in a row where Apex have started with a massive disadvantage. 2 rounds in a row where they're fighting it back, and well, that's another ult sent in right at the end of the round.
Well, this is it. You look at someone like Avova peeking that early, it looks like a huge mistake, but then you glance at what they're actually looking at in terms of numbers, where their players are distributed. And it was 3 players behind him on that A site. So yes, 2 rounds in a row where you've seen Movistar KOI find the opening duel, but 2 rounds in a row where the site that they decide to execute on has the numbers, where Apex have the read, even despite being a man down. This time, obviously not playing as aggressive, sitting back on site, playing those individual duels, working together then when the swings come through. But this has got to feel tough for KOI. They're finding openings. They were finding openings, running into stacked sides afterwards, and now they lose the man early.
Poison's off.
Yeah, they haven't been able to convert 2 rounds while having a man advantage. Let's see how they do with a man disadvantage. They are going to get the site for free. Now, bear in mind, over the last few rounds, Apex have expended their ults, well, I would say in scenarios where it wasn't almost necessary. KOI, on the other hand, have been holding theirs. Viper's Pit thrown in, Rolling Thunder available as well for Flyer. It might be a disadvantage, but they're in a good spot, and actually, they're going to send it in just to disrupt, but Batu has managed to hold the line.
He dodged the Rolling Thunder far enough to the side that it doesn't hit him, and now he's ready to fight back. Already a 2-man advantage, but playing through that pit can be deadly. It can cost you players, but Batty G going down puts pressure on Monster. They know he's out of the pit. He's got to jump back in, but the spam is there to greet him. The defuse underway, and they dive into the smoke to close this out. Time close, but not close enough. Apex, they were down and out, 4-1, but now they've got the lead.
They did well with up against what was a tough pit to break back into. I think the Rolling Thunder, I don't mind the idea. Like, you're trying to get ahead of their retake, but instead, when you already have a disadvantage, you end up losing extra personnel and then fighting back into that pit. You mentioned it, they sort of forced back that positioning, and that was enough for them to make that retake stick. 4 rounds in a row now for Apex. And well, for Movistar KOI, they're going to take themselves a pause, see if they've got the counter.
Well, that's exactly what they're looking for, Movistar KOI. See if they can figure out how to play against this.
That jersey's really cool, the black jersey. I really like that.
Yeah, no, it is nice. Hopefully not dressed for the occasion. This could be Movistar KOI down and out. No chance of making it to playoffs, although for Apex, you know, I think we've talked about the fact that they could make it on 1 win. There's like a multiversal possibility, but the probability skyrockets to a no.
Well, it will come down to relying purely on Na'Vi not winning any more games.
Yeah.
Which, when one of them is against KOI as well, you kind of think if you're not gonna beat Apex, you're probably not gonna beat Na'Vi. It's not a rule of thumb.
No,
like,
but
it's not
I mean,
definitive.
it's a good guesstimation, Tom, I have to say. I don't think you'll find many non-Spanish people who disagree with you on that. So that's always a good sign.
I do know quite a lot of Spanish people, though.
Yeah, no, you've angered a lot of people here, Tom. I'm just saying,
That's okay.
The non-Spanish ones probably okay with what you just said. Well, 5-4. Apex have the lead 4 rounds in a row. Movistar KOI looking for the counter. Let's see if they have it up their sleeve. As with 120 on the clock, it is a much more tempered round from Movistar. KOI were looking to split the B site.
Yeah, the wall is definitely going to make things more awkward. Even baiting it out with the thorns behind could be more of a problem. Already though, Malzy is going to manage that opener. It's the first kill of the round, but that has not been definitive by any stretch.
Oh.
But a second one, he doubles up, does well from there. They've crossed paths and only one of them's noticed. Batty G and the tank combining. And while the jump down has done how does Batty G come out on top of that? Oh, that was a Red Bull clutch, by the way.
I'm not sure it was the counter, but it certainly counts towards a round win. 5-5 now, and that's a round that I think Batu's going to look back on and kick himself for. Diving in with the shorty like that, it is an ambitious play, and it leaves his teammate isolated. A blast pack peek from Penny, but he is put in the ground, and although Batty's low, he's got a head peek angle, so it doesn't really matter that much for him. It's whoever hits the headshot, and he was the one to win out that round. 5-5. As we start out the next, Movistar KOI have a chance of taking back that lead.
Yeah, decisions were made. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with them.
No, they were the wrong decisions.
But we'll see. All right, maybe Batu can make up for it here. An aggressive position. A 1-2 punch in combination with Olizera. It's going to stop that drone being shot. Now this bait is all to just try and keep Batu in position. He has also put through a TP to escape. Instead, though, he goes peeking and the tank is just waiting on the other side. Surprise, surprise, the guy you knew he was there was there.
After a timeout from your opponent, there's only one round left in the half, so probably ill-advised, but I think at that halftime, the discussion is going to be Batu, calm down. That's 2 rounds in a row now where he overplays his hand, and the punish is clear. Look at this entire side of the map, man. Closest player just now coming to Waterfall. It's wide open for a C-take, and even if Olizera gets here, he's going to be one man. With none of his utility, remember the wall and the thorns placed towards B. It's a big problem because the Hunter's Fury has caught him and Batty G sprays him down. Death being dealt out by Movistar KOI is now a 5v3. It looks like they might have their lead back.
Showstopper available, but unless something gives the game away. Oh, that makes it interesting. Malzy's managed to find one. He's looked good in these retake scenarios, but well, that's not gone to plan. Filu with a quick double and a Vova. Yeah, he's caught in no man's land, being spammed on from multiple directions. Movistar KOI, after the pause, have managed to retrieve their lead. And I do wonder if that Batty G clutch is going to come back to bite them.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's guaranteed equal at the half because of Batty G and his performance in the previous round, because of this one here. Isolating that aggression from Batu, seizing back the space, and the Hunter's Fury revealing a player, damaging him and leaving an easy pickup for Batty through the smoke. 1 round left to compete for in the half. This could have been Apex, bouncing back from 4-1, taking a resounding lead at halftime. And instead, they're on the road to recovery, looking for even Stevens at best.
Batu up close. Again, it's a scenario where I feel like if he goes any further, it feels like him overplaying his hand. Monster, if he was to walk around this corner, would surely be dead to rights. That should be an easy pick. And now they've lost a lot of the map. This becomes quite a bit more difficult for the side of KOI. You have 2 choices: try and re-clear everything, or gamble that hit. And whoa, a fantastic reveal from Malzy will help them out.
Oh, he stepped into the stun. He thought he'd waited it out, but the timing just a little bit off. Olizera's lost his life. Deep fight from Filu, but he's got no backup. The rest of the squad going towards B. Avova's caught, taking his weapon back out. He can't get a shot off, but he gets the info. He knows that that plant was coming in, but now you start to suspect, why hasn't it been planted? They must be taking space. They must be clearing deep, and Apex have that read. Look at Malzy pushing alongside Batu. They'll be here a little bit late, though. Those players already crossing the steps, making it towards the site, but Avova's done just the same. He was spotted towards B-Link, now embedded himself deep on this site. They've got knife out as they go to clear it, but finally Flya suspects something. Spike down, 12 seconds.
10 seconds
the clock running very low. They need to get that pick now. They need to plant immediately in the time. It's too far gone. The round is done as long as they hide. And running that clock down to its last 6-6 is secured.
Yeah, it's definitely not the prettiest way for them to get that one done, but it will end up level. A back and forth half all the way through. And then our first map is competitive. We'll find out if that continues after the break.
One enemy remaining.
Welcome back, folks. 6-6 at the half. It is as close as I guess we expected it to be. And map 3 could be on the horizon, but two players who've been showing up so far in half number 1, and we don't expect to go anywhere, are Filu and Penny.
Yeah, that's always been the case with these teams, is like when they've been performing, it feels like these two have been a big part of that. Filu having a rough couple of weeks to start things off, but last week on their map victory especially looked very good. And Penny, well, ever since he sort of played those matches for Liquid, has definitely been on the radar once again. And a player with a lot of experience, and I think in these sort of crunch moments, that is going to have value. Currently both topping the charts as well, so it's whoever sort of takes the biscuit in the second half that could go home in map number 1.
I think it's worth, well, maybe it's not worth mentioning because we're already into the pistol and the opening pick is found immediately. That's Batu, who is going to be dropped off rip. The aggressive peek on A was to cover their hand being played towards this C site. With the player spotted on B, the door opening. I don't think this is going to be quite a free push, and you can already see that Monster's got the backup of Batty G. They're waiting, ready for this C play.
Oh, Monster under pressure, but he's managed to do well. Still sticking it out at the back of the site. His support has dwindled, but more is still to come. They look to swing in. Okay, never mind. Apex have managed to steady the ship a little bit. A few low players, the wall placed deep, and even a smoke around the back of it. Both players coming in from the same angle as well. It means there's a likely isolation, but wow, I'll say the cover wasn't the best. It doesn't matter. Olizera has managed to find one more and leave it all on to Flyer, the leader of this ship, a ship that could soon be sinking if they don't manage to turn this back. The pistol seeming done, and yeah, just finish him off, Olizera. It's not worth the risk, not when there is this much on the line for you and the org. They'll just take the lead instead.
I think he saw just a flash into a negative timeline.
Apex relegated from the lead because of failed knife.
Like 13-11 game in the end. Everyone looks back to that. He took it out for a second. He flinched to it. No.
Knifing him on it, knife him!
No, Batu, listen, you've been taking enough risks, brother. Calm down.
You've taken enough risks for the whole team.
Yeah, calm down, my guy. We know Batu would have went for it, but Ollie's got a good head in his shoulders. Makes the right choice. A 4K for him in the pistol. A solid start to this map, and 7-6 on the board now. The lead back in Apex's hands. But for how long? This is a classic buy, but even with their classics, Apex managed to do a lot in a similar round.
There we go.
Thank God. Okay.
4th time's the charm. And oh, he got away. He should be dead. He should be dead in this round. I don't know how he's getting away with this. It really does. It feels like when like a parent tells their kid, like, stop running, otherwise you'll bang your head, and they just keep doing it and they don't get hurt. That's Batu, except last half he did get hurt.
No, he got hurt a lot.
But he's still doing it.
He was certainly damaged here. I like this. You've just seen the decoy sent up. You've seen the orb be taken outside C right here. And that's keeping so many players in position. 4 around this C site. Everyone that's still drawing breath on the defense is sat there waiting for the aggression to come in. Meanwhile, Apex, having pressured A, found a pick, rotated back, pressured C. They now go A. The little double fake, and it works out wonderfully. 5 players alive, a spike plant, and only Classics against them.
The only thing I'm upset about is that Olizera didn't plant the spike. That's it.
Yes,
because Malzy was on 0 orbs and is now on 1 after planting the spike. And Olizera is 2 away from his ultimate. So 1 would have actually
going
made
into
a difference.
The FI round where they're going to have rifles, and also there's
it's all right though.
pistol in
got
play.
A Spectre.
Well, look, they've actually made the decision now. Now they value the orbs, not in the plant, because I guess no one was thinking, but now they value the orbs. Olizera is going to take the pistol. He's going to go hunting deep. He's in the wrong spot though. Maybe there's 1 orb to be claimed there, all timing dependent. Movistar KOI have made the decision to go down to the spike, and there it is. Ollie gets 1. He needs 1 more for the next round, but none up for grabs.
That's okay.
As everyone dives into the spike. They could still, especially on this map, you could end up farming them specifically towards this C site. It's much easier to pick up those orbs in the early round.
Yeah. Him getting that extra kill. I'm sorry. What, is there just a constant look to flame the tank's utility?
Bro, after his Vice last week, I mean, I think 80% of those thorns went on a roof.
We watched the dart go out the map earlier. Now we're watching that. Like, someone has a vendetta versus
just stop missing all your util if you don't want to be made fun of. It's a simple process, man. You know what, Natank, you're inviting it at this stage.
You're only saying that because he forgot Enzo earlier, aren't you?
I am. I saw that. I saw that little clip, and I will never let you live that down. How dare you?
Wow. Aggressive take already. Olizera has managed to get the ultimate, but is playing a little deeper. And Penny was just gone aggro. Managed to find Batty G playing alone. That'll be the plant and the potential for this ultimate to go through. You can see he's trying to play close to the angle so he could clear all of them as they make their way back into the site, take those weapons away, and maybe even just end the round. Already, though, no opportunities for trades. Now it's going to be taken. I love it. Olizera leaving it late, and now they have to just give up the round. That is the perfect timing for the Steel Garden to come in. You don't have time to wait for those guns to come back out. And what, are you going to try and retake versus 4 with Classics? Absolutely not.
No. Not with those big weapons in your back pocket. That was really nicely done by Olizera, because you see those first couple of fights go down, and that's where players panic. But that would have given them enough of a window to fight back in afterwards. He waits, pulls the trigger right when he needs to, and that's going to get 9-6 on the board.
Yeah, of course. That's already worth mentioning how important this match is for both of these teams. For Apex, we know that the story is they lose here and they are out of not even just the running, but of the league. Like, that is it, done and dusted, at least with a victory here. It throws some turmoil. I think they're still in a troublesome spot based on Na'Vi's position, and of course the fact that they, I believe their last game is versus Fnatic, which
easy win.
Saved the best till last, of course. But already on their opponent's map choice, making those changes, having the expectations of their composition. I do wonder, though, if it could be the same story for KOI on the next map.
It's the right read by Batty G. He knows that was a decoy. Presence on the A site now after that. This is where you start to think, if you're Movistar KOI, well, these players, they've done the same thing we've seen before. They've rotated away from C. They're going for the A control after that initial fake, and a lot of players would push up. Maybe Batty G would if he had a weapon that wasn't a judge. Now they've got Batunax. They're still, look, he's still sat in this corner.
Yeah.
If he continues with this level of patience, it looks like he'll get a reward.
Especially now, like when you've got Filu that deep on the other side of the map, you've got 2 players holding the cross on B. I would be very angry if he did move at this stage. There's absolutely no reason to. And with Apex, well, it feels like they've almost been pigeonholed into either a C or B take because of how much control they've lost.
That's a panic react as well with the snake bite. They fake this out perfectly, and there it is. The trigger pull, but the TP in gets at least one. Monster still to be dealt with. The smoke, they run through it. They find the pick as well. Apex, boots on the ground. A plan to come through. No ults. They're miles away from them. On both sides, indeed. That spray, it comes close. There's damage done, but Apex are still drawing breath, looking for that deeper fight in the tank. It's not a missed piece of utility. It's no utility. He's caught with the bow in hand, taken down, and the numbers equalized. Apex look to play this together. It's Ollie, Zera, and Malzy running the clock down, but then they separate. It's a big play from Ollie. The flash lands. Malzy the one to find the kill, leaving it to the 1v1, but Flyer gets there first.
It's a round that's close, but it really shouldn't have been. I feel like up until the actual execution in that, 2v4 at the end, it was basically a done deal. You had the initial pick coming in for Feely, you had the judge position as well with all of the Viper utility behind it. And even though it ends up as a 1v1 trade for Baddy G, it's sort of like, I feel like Monster continues to go forward. And that's sort of the spot where I want to just see them go, okay, we now have a massive advantage. Let's just play as a pack.
The sad thing there as well is you look at Ollie Zera's flash and where it was placed, it led to his death because there was this small gap. If you're hugging the wall right around here, you're going to be safe. It's not going to blind you, and that's exactly what ended up happening. The player could still see, swung out wide and took him down on the aggression. If it was wider, it might have been broken, though. There's always trade-offs to these things.
Yeah.
9-7 now, 2-round gap. Rolling Thunder online from Movistar Koi. And they've been doing pretty well here on the defense. That last round, a trap play by Baddy G, a lot of patience on display.
Are they going to go back and try and re-clear this? Because that was the problem in the last round. I said, I feel like they got pigeonholed. What? He just jump peeked, and I don't know if that was a pre-fire or again. He's continuing this push forward. 10 HP, and the stun is sublime. The supportive utility of Flyer gifts him an opener that Filu never should have had. And I feel like I've said that a few times this map.
I mean, you could slow-mo that second shot coming out of the Outlaw as well. It almost took him down. A bullet would have been enough to the chest, the leg, or anywhere in between, but somehow he gets out of there. 10 HP, a man advantage. Movistar Koi, as said, they can feel pretty content to play retakes here with that Rolling Thunder. They can go for the disruption
30 seconds
if they want to. Rotation underway from Penny now. It will be commitment, full commitment to this A site. It's red. The Rolling Thunder buys them a little more time. 20 seconds. One player passed it, yes. But that door now closing. They need to go. They need to move and get past Flyer. Okay, they'll get past everybody. Ollie Zera doubles up, finding so much value from that deep position. And the spike won't be kept off the site. This round should be done and dusted. Monster, he's looking to compete, and Baddy G's on his way.
Again, a 2v4 scenario. We see plenty of these throughout the map so far. I think that damage maybe being unconfirmed has sort of slowed them down, and Ollie Zera is on an absolute tear, continuing to pretty much decimate his opponents. This map has been all hills, but Monster is still going for this, still attempting this, but getting past Penny was always going to be difficult. Around it again. For Movistar Koi look very good, but it's one player just getting past that Rolling Thunder. I don't know if we'll see the timing. He literally stepped past it by like a millisecond, and both players on that site were just like, oh, well, there's no way there's anyone here.
Enemy remaining.
You saw him there confirming the kills, but it really is that cloak and dagger sneak through from Ollie Zera that grants them that success. He's now 17-11. This has been a great half from him. He came out of the first with, I think, 10 less kills than where he's at right now. Bottom of the board. He was struggling. And somehow it's here on the attack side that the Vice is really finding value. 3 rounds in between them. Movistar Koi, a team that have led at numerous stages throughout this, their map pick, are stalling out. And with classics in the hands of most of their players, it's looking like Apex may be on the home stretch, about to claim their opponent's map pick.
That's unfortunate as well that their economy has now been broken off the back of it. Not really going to be much to play with in this round. A nice shot from Filu does actually land. And wow, a second connected as well. I said there wasn't much invested. The one thing that is this Marshall, and it is finding tag after tag after tag. It is absurd how much he's already managed to do with it. Another tag. He might just take this all on his own. Goes back for a third, and he's tagged up Penny as well. A Marshall play that might have just completely turned this on its head, or it should have done. Yeah, ambitious from Batty G, but you can understand it. Trying to catch someone with their back turn, and Penny's planting, but he is somewhat isolated for now.
Boy, 29 HP, those classics, they're going to be pretty deadly against him, but Penny, he grabs himself a triple in this round. He's given them a real chance. It's Evolva now in a 1v2, recovered rifle for an tank. He spotted them as well, but the paranoia is going to keep them back. It could even give a kill. Evolva TPs, causing confusion, isolates one, doesn't land the shots though, and it's Movistar Koi in a round with classics that we'd already counted in Apex's favor. Somehow, they've pulled off the heist. They've stolen the round back with a pay safe card Thrifty.
Yeah, this is just nuts. Like, this is just one guy. Like, the rest of the team are not particularly close. They just left Filu there alone to try and do absolutely everything. And I think he hit every player bar one and killed 3. Like, that's not what you should be able to get away with a singular Marshall on one side of the map. What an individual performance from him. And, well, currently 18 and 14 at the top of that board. One behind, of course, is Olizera, who's still fragging on the other side, but that feels like a cardinal sin of a round to lose.
Without a doubt. I mean, that we start out that round, man, I'm already thinking 11-7, big comeback needed. And that's the thing, for those players as well, when you see the game start to slip away, it can be demoralizing, especially when you're 0-3, which is the case for either of these teams. But when you have that round, where someone pops off, that's like the rally cry. You're back in the game. No matter what the scoreline is, that's the round that kickstarts your momentum. And it's a pause from Apex, as they very well know what they could be facing. Movistar Koi could steamroll back into this game, and they need to stop that momentum before it starts. One round, a blip on the radar.
John's going to be funny.
It's going to be tough. What's that?
If Filu now gets 0 kills with an operator. Because I felt like that's the most like, you see someone like pop up with a Marshall, they're like, I'm feeling it with a sniper, I'm going to buy myself an op, and then gets instantly one-tapped. I'm also wondering why Olizera doesn't have a gun.
He's going to buy one. He has not bought a gun.
Oh, never mind.
He knew he was going to go down to the 100 Fury, so he didn't buy a weapon.
Immediately die.
Generational play. Unbelievable thinking.
He has the read.
He saved the money for the next round, knowing he died to an ult. Wow. Olizera thinking 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, never critique the tank again, by the way.
Yeah, my bad.
That was a sick ult.
My bad.
Now Flyer flying back in. This is one of the rounds for the ages.
What was that, man?
Well, there you go.
Movistar
Koi, back on the horse.
If you call a timeout and one of your players doesn't buy a gun, like...
No, do you know what it is?
What are you
He's got the
saying?
steel garden, and he didn't want it to be an unfair fight, so he was like, I'm going to steal their gun,
level playing
and then
field.
I'll also play with my pistol.
Unreal.
All of these theories are brought to you by the We Made That Up Foundation, and yeah, you know what? It worked out, because at least now he can buy a gun.
If we're in a post-game interview and they're like, yeah, it was because we knew that we'd have a rifle for the next round, a steel garden, to even... Just, I hope whoever's interviewing says shut up, because that's the only...
I don't think anyone will try and justify that. Mistakes were made, but it kind of, because they got wrecked so hard, it kind of helped them out a little bit. Penny already dead. Olizera, he now has that hero rifle, ult available. They had themselves a few ults going into these last couple of rounds. I think all 5, and now 2 of them have already disappeared. Weaponry not in their favor. The flash is going to leave Monster completely blind. Flyer trading things out. In fact, already getting his 3rd kill of the round, but it's over. Somehow, big brain play. They're going to destroy the economy, and now comes over. Big brain stuff from Apex, intentionally not buying to bring, just big play from a moment. It was a big play from a moment.
He didn't even pop the Steel Guard, man. He didn't give it down. He
You don't
swung
need it.
in. They just took the 2v2. for
It
what
wouldn't have
could
been fair because he didn't have a clutch.
This is an ideal
One
Steel Guard
enemy
moment right there.
Last
And he
player
says, no,
standing.
I'm in there. I'm taking him down. We're swinging together. And you know what? If Evova's feeling it like that, why not? But this is Valorant hell.
Yeah, it's one of the games of all time.
11-9, Apex, they bounce back after, you know what, if you didn't watch the previous rounds, good for you. Don't look back. Only look forward. 2 rounds now needed for that attack side to close this out. Still have the Steel Guard thanks to Ollie's error. Not using it in the previous. A smart play that worked out for the round. Nightfall takes in backside space. Nade doesn't do much for them there, honestly, just slows Penny down, but they'll get the space in the end. And Ollie's era, he's been domed. So there goes the Steel Guard.
Deploying drone.
Wow, advantages in this map have meant but very little. Ultimates not really going to be a part of this one unless a From the Shadows goes into the spawn. Filu is dropped down with an operator, managing to get the close position of over again, and somehow, come on, now Penny has managed to catch a quick double from the sidelines, even reposition it completely, and he's going to clutch it out now! These rounds don't make any sense, but Apex don't mind!
Match point. Party's over. Let's show them out.
I feel like I'm gonna have an aneurysm. That was unbelievable. You had the TP out from Batu. He doesn't even clear the broken door, doesn't clear Hobbit. So it's a free pick on Monster. They've got numbers rallying back through and a wraparound from Penny. Grabs a double. He then knows where Monster is from him taking down Batu. We're trolling, CMOS says, and I think he's right. Movistar KOI, 3 rounds in a row needed now to close this out. Apex, they've had the counter so far. It's
The counter's been
unbelievably
It's been
crazy
clutching.
gameplay.
It's not sustainable, but it is working here on their opponent's map choice. And the tank, he's trying to get aggressive. There is a lot of counter utility in the way. And in case you're wondering, the Steel Garden is available this round.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is.
Ah.
He hasn't used it.
He hasn't farmed back up the orbs. He's had it the whole time. Certainly a good moment to throw it in. Could be the last round, but we'll see as they take the space late. Batu will swing into 2 players.
To be fair, from your perspective of the Spectre being bad, if he uses it, it might upgrade Flyer's weapon.
It definitely buffs Flyer, but you got to respect the Stinger as well on the tank. Reveal goes deep. They see a player further back. They don't know about Filu, and this is all just an attempt to bait them into Filu so the swing can come in from the tank afterwards. Great damage combining that Guardian with the Stinger, but there goes the Steel Guardian, and now you've only got a Classic to work with. Good luck, Filu. That Guardian ain't going to be around for much longer, and there's no Guardian to keep him safe as the tank gets isolated. Both players left to fight with pistols, and a 5v3 for the map.
He pulled his gun out with half the ult left. I think you got the timing a little bit wrong on that one, but hey, it's not looking good. Flyer with the Spectre. It's going to be on him to clutch this because, I don't know, but there you go. See, because I knew the Monster was just about to die. A 1 versus 5 for the greatest clutch of all time. And Ollie Zara is going to be there to put it down. They've walked in, found an in-zone flawless for the final round, and they have taken their opponent's map choice. Apex look to cling to life as they head into Ascent.